Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel. I am about to start the podcast creation of my Ending Stigma podcast also. So as you're watching this, I'm going to be starting for the podcast because this is not going to be edited. This is recorded live. However, I do have the edited version of the podcast in the link below to this video, so you can listen to that. Um, so I'm just getting started here. So all this information will be on the Anchor podcast. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Ending Stigma podcast. I'm your host, Akasha Manthe. This podcast can be found on YouTube channel. You can search Ending the Stigma, or for those of you who want to listen, if you're in your car or doing work around the house, you can listen to the edited version on Anchor and Spotify. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, you can certainly subscribe to the channel and comment and like below. So now I'm just the intro. As you're watching online, I have the when I do these podcasts, I break it into sections. That way I can have um, add different music. So bear with me there. But it gives you kind of a little background, seeing if you want to call it that. It is week number 5 already for the UW system. I am a college student, a non-traditional student, creating these videos for college students. This is, again, episode number 5, the series podcast. The last last 3 videos in audio on Anchor. The first one was on sugar, second one was on alcohol, the third one was on pornography, and today is on talking about drugs. Before I begin, I like to have a disclaimer here. This content is for general information only and does not provide medical advice. You are recommended that you seek assistance from your personal physician for any health conditions or concerns. As I mentioned, this is week number 2 of classes for me at the UW Green Bay. I am a non-traditional student, as mentioned, as I went back to school, and now I am working on my bachelor's degree in the organizational leadership program. As I'm recording this, it is February 1st, and in Wisconsin, I think we've had a nice street. It is in the 30s, depending on where you live, maybe low 40s. And for Wisconsin in February, I would say that is definitely a treat. So I hope for those of you who are on college campuses, either in your dorms or in apartments closer to the UW campuses, you were able to get outside and enjoy your walks or runs to and from class. All right, now I am processing that video, and we will go into the topic of the week, which is opioids on college campuses after this is done loading here. All right. All right, so this week is the 4th week in the series of addictions, and as mentioned, today's topic is on drugs, and more specifically, opioids with college students. I think with a lot of pressure from either societies, social media, instructors, professors, home life, and just life in general, we can go to certain things or items to have that disconnection from the world. And in our series of addictions, I've talked about 3 of them so far. 2 of them were something you can physically put into your body, and we're actually in 4 of them. So 4 of the addictions out of the 4, 3 of them you can put in your body as a physical substance. So the last one, opioids. So the definition, so for those of you who are wondering, opioids, a non-prescribed medication from a prescribed or from a licensed doctor. So we can go to our cabinet, or maybe it could be from a kitchen or wherever you put your medications, maybe your friends, if you're in a dorm. You may go to those drugs to have a disconnection from the physical or mental pain you're dealing with. And unfortunately, this is leading and has been for unfortunately many years to the opioid crisis. Is has been a topic for the last how many years, unfortunately. But this topic is from a article. I will have the link in the description below. Even though we are in Wisconsin, this article is from the the state of Missouri. So Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development. Opioid use is growing concerning communities across Missouri, including the state's colleges and universities. Under the heading Opioid Use on Campus, according to the Partners in Prevention, heroin use and the misuse of prescription pain medications remains relatively low on college campuses. According to a 2017 study, about 0.4% of students used heroin and 4.4% of students misused prescription drugs during the previous year. However, it is important to continue to educate students about the risks of opioid use and provide help for students dealing with addiction. So the partners in different state colleges and universities. It looks like a group of 21 public and private colleges. It's kind of like where they got these sample sizing from. So that information is in the link below to the article. And again, it is Missouri and we are in Wisconsin. However, it shows, Wisconsin has that same, not the same problem, but that struggle of challenges with addictions for college students. This is meant to help college students if you are struggling with this. I will have a link in the description below for primarily the UW Green Bay students. I'll have information about the counseling there. All right, so now I just pause that and loading the next one here, or it's loading so I can do the next segment of the quick tip. It is the dose of reality. So after this loads the processes, then I can work on that. All right, so we can, awesome, that is done. Word. All right, that sound means it is quick tip. This segment is a quick tip from the Dose of Reality, the Wisconsin Department of Health Services drug drop boxes. Dose of Reality. I will have this article also in the show notes below. For those of you who may have prescription drugs or unwanted medications in the house, apartments, dorms, these locations have a box secure for you and your family to, or friends to, throw into. So permanent drug box are convenient ways to safely dispose of unused and unwanted medications. Stored in a medicine cabinet, these medications can be misused by your family, friends, and other visitors to your home. Thrown in the trash, these medications can fall into the hands of people who have no medical use for them. Flushed down the toilet or poured down a drain, these medications can contaminate our water supply. That's why we encourage you to dispose of these medications year-round at a permanent drug box. Bringing unused and unwanted medications to a permanent drug box protects you and your family and community. On this article also, if you click on the link, Dose of Reality, it has a permanent drug box near you, and you can search your location. For those of you who are in Wisconsin, they have different counties. I'm going to put in so just to name a few, in Green Bay has many in Brown County. So like the Green Bay Police Department, Howard Village Hall, Bell and Health are just a few of the different locations you could take these unused drugs. All right. Again, that is the quick tip for the week. All right, just loading that one or processing. And then we can go on to the next one. So that is third. All right, so drug addiction could be the opioid crisis we have here in Wisconsin as college students or in other states. It is a challenge, no doubt, and it does affect you and your family members. In the description below, also, I have the opioid um, or drug counseling, depending on your location, but at least in Green Bay, I'll have a location for the to get more help for like drug treatments. I'm not saying all college students are affected or struggle with drugs, the misuse of drugs, but that is out there, just like the other addictions I've talked about in this college series of addictions. Again, this podcast is meant to help college students, not make them feel bad or think their friends are better or um, this clique is better or this dorm room or fraternity is better because they don't do drugs or do drugs. The podcast is out there as for college students to receive help and help others. And remember, like the other drugs um, or addictions, just taking it one day at a time. How can you be 1% better than the previous day? I know it's the opioid addiction is it's downright painful and um, your mind it just wrecks with your mind and your neurotransmitters just wanting it more. So there's like your feeling of no way out, and that's why I have that link in the description below for the green addiction centers, at least in the Brown County, Green Bay area for college students. Will hopefully help also. All right, as we wrap up the episode for number 4, that wraps up also the series on addictions against sugar, alcohol, pornography, and drugs. This also marks the first video recording live on YouTube. You can watch the podcast on YouTube. Also, the edited version is on Anchor. You can also listen to this, or you can listen to this on Anchor and Spotify. For those of you who want more information or like these videos and podcasts, give me a thumbs up in the description below. And please subscribe to the channel for more information and more content to come. All right, you guys have a great day, and as always, your mental health matters. All right, that wraps up the Anchor podcast and also for the live channel. I appreciate you guys watching. As I mentioned below in the audio, the podcast, please subscribe, share the video if you think somebody may benefit, and we will see you next week. This is something new. I recorded it live. I hope that works out for you also. And again, as always, your mental health matters. Have a good day.